Hello everybody. In this 5 minutes video, I would like to talk about the Pandas Library, which is among one of the popular and famous libraries in Python to use for your data analysis. As an example of the data set, I'm going to use the Airbnb information from New York in 2019 that you can download directly from Kaggle. I'm going to leave the link of download in the comments below. So as the first step, you have to load the Pandas library in your script. So I am calling it like import pandas as PD. So whenever I want to use pandas function, I have to use PD in my script. So the next step is to load my dataset. I'm using read CSV function that as the first parameter, it is expecting to find the link or the address of my dataset. I'm saving the result in the Airbnb object. And then through my script, I have the access to Airbnb object by calling it. So it is always interesting and important to know the number of observations in your data set. So by calling shape, you're going to be able to see the number of observation in your data set and also the number of the columns. So in this case, I have around 49,000 rows and 16 columns. The next function that I'm calling is info, which is giving me extra information about the columns and the columns type. So here you can see it is giving me also the number of observation and also the number of the columns, plus the name of the columns that you can see we have ID, name, host ID, and go on, and also the type of the columns. Such for the numeric columns, we have int 64 or float 64 as the type, and for the rest of the columns, which can be a string or date, we have the object data type. And also you can see the memory usage of your dataset here in the bottom, the memory usage, which is around 6 megabytes. So the next script is describe, which is going to show you how your numeric data is distributed. Like for each numeric column, I can see the count, mean, standard deviation, minimum value, and maximum value, and the rest. So for example, here for the price, I can see the minimum price is 0 and the maximum price is around 10,000, which is a lot the difference between the price of the rooms. And then if you would like to see just the name of the columns, you can reach to them by calling airbnb.columns. So here you can see just a list which includes the name of your columns. And after that, you can call the head function, which is displaying the first 5 observations in your dataset. It is always good to see how your data is shaping. So you can see the different values for each column. And there is also the function tail, which is going to show you the last observations in your dataset. So just to get a general feeling about your data. If you would like to do the indexing, like if you would like to see the first 10 rows, you can access them through brackets. So after Airbnb, I'm opening the brackets and putting 2 dots and then the number of the rows that I would like to see. So here I have selected the first 10 rows in my dataset, as you can see here. If you would like to see the data for specific columns, so you can call them by opening, first you have to call lock function, which is going to be used for specifying the number of the rows or the name of the columns that you would like to see. So here I have said that, okay, please display me all of the rows for the two columns, which are last review and reviews per month. So here I can see the information for the first, all of the rows actually, and the data for the specified columns. If I would like to see the information, not the information, but the values of the first 10 rows for a specific column, I can call that column, and in the bracket, I'm specifying the number of the columns that I would like to see. Here I can see the values for calculated host listing count, the first top rows. And if you want more data, you can change the range, of course. And the last comment is, if I can reach it, is the function is null, which is going to tell you how many columns are having the null values. If you would like to understand the number of the null observation, you can also call sum after it. So by displaying it, I can see for each of the columns how many observations are having null values. So I can see the two columns of the last review and reviews per month are having the maximum number of null values. Well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I'm going to be back soon with another new one.